Hi, I'm Veronica with Authorized Vac and Sew in Fresno, California, and I'm just playing with my stabilizer box here, getting ready. Because I have really great guest here. A lot of you know her, and I'm going to be doing this Thumbs Up Thursday on something that we've done it on before. But of course, some extra stuff and new stuff. But because a lot of people bought the stabilizer packs, I'm going to have my special guest review that. And they bought the stabilizer packs, and I think that review, this is the school teacher in me, the review is really good for people who purchased. And then also we were given special permission to bring some more in at this price. So I love these things, and I really want you to have the opportunity to check these out again, okay? But before I get started, I want to announce our shared winner of the $50 gift card. So at the end of this at the end, after Kathy has spoken and I've spoken, we're going to give you a special word to win a $50 gift card, okay? But this gift card, and we're going to give, it's a new word. It's not thumbs up. It's a new word, and you won't know it unless you stay tuned, okay? And this $50 gift card, though, is from last week. This person shared our video, and her name, and she won the $50 gift card for sharing, is Terry Evangelo. Congratulations, Terry. $50 gift card is here available for you at the store. And if you aren't local, which I think she is, I think Terry is, but if she isn't, we can either mail this to you, or you can receive an gift certificate that you can use on our website. Okay. So Terry Evangelo, if you are not watching right now, then we will be contacting you for sure. Okay. Congratulations.
Joanne says, hi, Brian, watching from Sensational.
Oh, wow. Hi, Joanne. You must be having fun. Awesome. Well, thank you for taking time out to watch this today. I appreciate that. Okay. So don't forget, we're going to give another $50 gift card away later in this segment. Okay. So in the email, there was an email that said Veronica is going to be presenting a brand new event. And I am so excited about this. Okay. Very excited. First of all, I think it's really pretty the way that we're doing it. It's called Fall in Love with Sewing. And we're celebrating National Sewing Month in September. So what are we going to be doing? Well, if you open it up on the inside, okay, are you able to put that up there by chance? Just the front? Okay, that's okay. You will see that I have three very good instructors, okay? The first one I have on top is Pam Macy. You probably have heard about her. She's, if you ever used to watch the Sewing with Nancy shows and the PBS shows, Pam Macy was on those, showing off her talents with sewing, but mostly serging. So we're going to have 3 different classrooms at our store. And if you've never been to our store before, we have a 15,000 square foot store. So that's not a problem. But in one classroom is going to be Pam, and we're going to have sergers in there, and you're going to be doing serger projects in that classroom. So if you own a serger or if you don't own a serger, it doesn't matter. The sergers are all going to be provided for you. The sergers, the supplies, you will not need to bring anything but a willingness to learn, okay? And that's what's really cool about this event. So Pam Macy will be coming. Oh, she's over here. Pam. And she comes with a wealth of knowledge. She will have a lot of different examples and samples of all kinds of things that you can do with the serger as well. The next person that we have is Vanita. Vanita's been here before. Her name is Vanita McCall. She's been here before. She's going to be in the sewing room, sewing/embroidery room. So in the morning, you're going to be doing some sewing project. And then in the afternoon, you're going to be doing computerized edge-to-edge quilting in the hoop, okay? So Vanita is a very accomplished educator. She has a lot of energy. I just love her. I'm so excited to have her back. And I know that you will be excited to spend the day with her as well. So the first day, you'll be broken into groups. The first day, you'll be working with possibly Pam. The next day, you'll be working with Vanita. And then the last day, you'll be working with Sandra Swick, Sandra Swick has been here several times, but Sandra this time, Sandra's always done the sergers, but Sandra is excited to teach you about free motion quilting. So we're going to be working with the sit down machines, and we're going to be doing free motion quilting, stippling, and addressing ruler work and all of that. So you're going to be working with three different machines over the course of the 3 days. So, and everything's supplied for you. Now, here's the really good thing about it. The price is only $249 right now. It's normally $299. And that will go up in August, okay? But early bird pricing is $249 right now, okay? So you can go onto our website, you can get signed up. Because everything is being provided for you, sewing machines, all of the fabric, the thread, scissors, everything. You won't need to bring anything. There's limited seating. So you will need to get signed up right away. Number one, you're saving $50. Number two, you might miss out because it might fill up. It already is actually. We sent out the email, I think yesterday, last Saturday, and we've already have signups for it. So, because this is the first time we've done this in a while since COVID, and I'm super excited about it. So I hope you'll join us. And one other thing too, the first night before the event starts, we will have Pam Macy. She will be here and she will be doing she's going to be like our keynote speaker. So she's going to give us a 2-hour with cocktails and hors d'oeuvres and just talking about her experience. And she has lots of experience in the sewing world and how it was then and how it is now. And it's just going to be a really nice evening event for you. And that's all included in the $249 price point. Okay. So what's that?
Can you repeat the date?
I don't think I even told them. They have to go on our website. No, I'm just kidding. The date is opening ceremonies is Wednesday, September 20th from 5 to 7. The 3-day event starts on Thursday, September 21st through Saturday, September 23rd. And all 3 days are from 9 to 4:30. Any other questions? Come to our Fall in Love with Sewing. I think you're going to really love it. It's really fun to play with all kinds of equipment. I am actually going to conventions. I'm leaving next week. No, the end of the month. I'm going to a Bernina convention for a week in Dallas. And then I'm excited because that's where my daughter lives. So I get to see her, you know. And then I'm going in August, I'm going to Brother Convention as well. And then for a week. And then I think in August, I'm going for a day to go see what's new with Janome. So at this event, you're going to be seeing some new products as well too. So that's really exciting. And it's really neat to see what's going on out there and to get your hands on it, you know? So, and you'll also learn a lot. You'll learn a lot from people and just have a great time with your friends. And so get your friends together and get signed up because it's going to be great. I think Authorized Back and Sew is always first class when it comes to that. We really pride ourselves on that. Okay, so I hope you can come. One more event, and I'm pretty sure that Kathy will be talking about this, is this one is filling up. This is in September. This is the DJ Anderson event. So what we're talking about today is just a smidge of what we're going to be covering in the one-day event with DJ and Judy in September. See, it's National Sewing Month, so we're doing 2 big events in September. That's Friday, September 29th, or you come on Saturday, September 30th, and this is only $39.95 and includes lunch. By the way, my 3-day event includes lunch all 3 days as well too. So there's a lot of value for the prices that we're charging. So come on, just come on, because we are going to have a good time. Okay, now I'm going to introduce to you, and I know you guys know her because she's like a legend in our industry. I just keep getting these awesome people, and I'm so grateful. I'm going to introduce to you Miss Kathy Quinn.
Hi.
Hi,
I'm
Kathy.
excited to be here. Hi, Veronica. It's so good to be here. I wish I was here in person. So good to see you.
I know, but it's super nice to see you. And so, Kathy Quinn.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of people know you. You know what they know you for?
Press it, press it, press it. Or software. I'm the software queen.
But you make learning fun. And so I had Ashley do a few of the things you're going to talk about 2 months ago. Ashley was, the educator from R&K, and she did such a great job. Yes. We sold a lot of them, and R&K gave me special permission to bring in another pallet of them. So I'm so excited to be able to offer it. But in addition to it, the school teacher in me says, okay, you sell a product, you teach them about the product, they get excited, and then it might sit there. So we need to reteach it again. Review is always good, okay?
The thing about reviewing with us is that Ashley is a very different type of embroiderer than I am.
Yes.
So you're going to learn how Ashley uses it, which is phenomenal. I like how Ashley uses it. But then you're going to see it from my perspective. So I learn something every time I do one of these. I have never not learned something at any teaching I've ever done because y'all have so many good ideas. So you can only learn more goodies.
Isn't that the truth? And I learned too, because we have people come in, we carry all of the Floriani products. I've been doing that for years, and I know it works. So that's what we sell. There's really no reason to sell anything else, to be honest with you, from the thread to the stabilizers to the software. It's our go-to. And so we have all of it, on our wall, and people will come in and they ask us for stabilizer advice. And it's super important for me and my staff to be able to give them that answer. But, I'm sure you're going to talk about how they can go also on the website and download workbooks. And it's such the support that Floriani gives to the embroiderer from, beginner to advanced is, it's phenomenal. And that's another reason why I sell it. So plus they have great people like you.
Oh, my joy. I have great dealers like you.
Okay. So go ahead, Kathy, go for it. And I'll be your Vanna.
Great. We're going to get started this morning. And what I'm going to talk about first is we have 2 kits we're going to talk about. The first one is the Fabulous 5. And then we're going to go ahead and expound to the Sensational 7. So let's look at the first 5 core products. And these are like back in the old days when you had butter and sugar and flour instead of quinoa and kale in your pantry, when we had real stuff, the good sweet stuff. That's it. So we're going to start out. And the first one I'm going to start out with is, we always think when we start embroidery, when we start teaching you, we teach you tearaways because we love tearaways. Why? They tear away. But tearaways are specific. Tearaways can only be used on stable fabrics. So the first tearaway I'm going to start with is heat and stay. Now I'm going to share my camera with you here. Let me go to get my little camera up. No problem. I got it all here too. I'm going to share with a camera so I can show you some stuff real good. Okay. So as Veronica's holding up, we're going to start with heat and stay. Now, heat and stay is a medium weight tearaway. Okay. It's a medium weight tearaway. What makes us different? We buy the difference. Floriani is made in a Delta wet laid process. What does that mean? It means we take little tiny short fibers. We suspend them in a silicone vat. We comb them in every direction and we press them. So that affords several things. Number one, we are the only stabilizer today that is not paper-based. Now, somebody else might come up tomorrow, next month, next year, but right now I'm the only game in town. You put fabric behind fabric. You do not stuff paper behind fabric. The reason we use silicone in all of our products is because we want to facilitate that needle going in and out. We want it to clearly pierce and come out clean. And the reason we use little tiny short fibers, so it'll tear clean in all directions when you go to tear away. Otherwise, you got to get that thumbnail tool, hold on for dear life, to pull around the corners. We comb in every direction, which means that will tear away in any direction. All other stabilizers are just combed in two. So you know they'll tear easy, warp and weft, but when you go around a corner, you're in trouble. Now, the next thing about our heat and stay, we found out a long time ago, if you take a piece of fabric and a piece of stabilizer and you hoop them together in a hoop, you just hooped with two separate tensions. The stabilizer is more taut than the fabric. So then you go in and you pull it just a little bit to tighten that fabric. Well, you just created a larger deficit between the two pieces. So now the needle goes in, it hits your stabilizer, it pulls, tears, and puckers. So that's an issue. So at Floriani, we have a way to fix every stabilizer to your fabric. Now with all of our tearaways that have a fusible, they're done at silk setting, not a super hot iron, silk setting. That's so that you can put it on silk, taffeta, satin, and that's a fact that the glue will melt at a certain temperature. So if you don't know what silk setting is on your iron, turn your iron on low, iron it. If it doesn't fuse, you're not at silk setting yet, and turn that iron up slowly till the glue will melt. Scientific fact. If it melts, then you're at silk setting. Mark your iron, and that way you know you're not putting stabilizer on too hot. Now, with heat and stay, it is a temporary fuse. We just wanted to hold on while we stitch. Now, when you're using a tearaway, your fabrics must be stable. Cotton, linen, denim, silk, taffeta, homespun, flannel, anything woven that does not stretch. So that says we can't use them on knits. So if it's stable, I'm going to iron this on silk setting. Now, you're going to iron it on an inch larger than your frame. Your fabric and your stabilizer has to be an inch larger than your frame. Now, here's the deal too, is that you always want to pick the frame that is closest to the size of your design. If you have a 4x4 design and you pick up a 5x7 frame, you're going to have two issues. The first issue is you won't get as good an embroidery, because with the frame being closer to the stitches, your tension is better. The second thing is you're wasting stabilizer, and you are paying for the stabilizer. So while I want you to buy everything so your embroidery is successful, I want you to use it judiciously. Don't waste. So make sure you pick the right size frame. Now, the next thing we always do is we are going to top this. Now, when we top it, we are topping it. Well, where did my topper go? Oh, here it is. Good. Thought I lost my topper. We're going to top it with Heat and Gone. Now, Heat and Gone is very unusual. It has bumps on one side. It is slick on the other. Now, you can use Heat and Gone just about anywhere that heat can be applied. So I'm going to take a piece of Heat and Gone, put it bumpy side down, just a little bigger than my design field. This is not a stabilizer. This is a loft enhancer. This is a topper. So you do not need it larger than your frame. So I'm going to put the Heat and Gone down. I'm going to stitch this out. Now I'm going to pull away my topper when I'm finished. Now I'm going to tear away my backing, and it's going to tear away clean because you see this has a nice outline around it. So that backing will tear away very easily your stabilizer from around this design. Now, when I've pulled this away, the next thing you're going to do is you are going to take your iron. Now your iron's going to be at wool setting, no steam. So that's a dry iron. at wool setting.
Here's what I found.
And in every one of our stabilizers, I don't think I can do it for the camera, but in the end here, there is an information sheet that gives you an education. Floriani is all about educational. You see our education. You see our little QR code. If you're got a stabilizer at home, you can't remember for the life of you what to do with it, take a picture of your QR code. It will take you right to our video that tells you how to use that stabilizer. So I've now pulled away. I've got my iron at wool setting, no heat. And what am I going to do? I'm going to press it, press it, press it. Do not iron it. Press it, press it, press it. Why press it? Because this is going to vaporize from around your design. It's going to stay underneath it. But if you don't lift up your iron, it's vaporizing. So I press up and the vapor, press up the vapor. If you iron it, that vapor hits the bottom of that iron and you just smear it around real nice and it's yours forever. So while Heat and Gone is amazing, it stays underneath the design so you can use it on towels, fleece, corduroy, anything with a nap, as well as you can use it on flat fabrics. Absolutely amazing. I love it. I use it on silks because when my iron starts spitting, you know, she's a lady until she sees silk and then she tries to spit on it. So by using Heat and Gone, I don't have to ever have any moisture next to this as when I use water soluble. So that is our heat and stay. Now, the other thing I want to tell you about all of our medium tearaways is they will support 10,000 stitches in a 4x4 frame and 15,000 in a 5x7. So for the first time in your world, you don't have to guess at how much stabilizer. So let's pretend this little design, he's in a 4x4 frame. Let's say he's 12,000 stitches. Well, I told you it would hold 10. What am I going to do? Well, from that, we're going to take tearaway medium. Now, these are exactly the same stabilizer. The difference is I put a fuse on my heat and stay. Tearaway medium is very inexpensive. It doesn't have a fuse on it. No magic. But what this is this is what we call a floater. So what I would do is I would have my design hooped with my heat and stay. Then I would take and cut a piece of tearaway medium just a little bigger than my design field. I'm going to slide it underneath my hoop and lay it on the feed dogs. Now I've got 20,000 stitches worth of stabilizer. This is a 12,000 stitch design. It's going to stitch out beautifully. And I've used my tearaway medium as a floater. It is not, you don't hoop it as a stabilizer because your fabric can't adhere to it, but it sure can pick up the slack when you have more stitches in a hoop. So that's those. Now I'm going to come to my very favorite stabilizer that Floriani makes. This is my go-to. Floriani Perfect Stick. Now, Perfect Stick is really magic. Perfect Stick is partially water soluble and partially fiber. That's the first thing. Well, that's magic, but remember, half of that is a tearaway. When it's half tearaway, half water soluble. So that tearaway is not going to wash away. Only the water soluble part will come away. Why? And we made it sticky on top. This does not fuse on. This you put in the hoop by itself, shiny paper side up. You score it, you pull it away, and now you have a nice tacky surface. And that way you can stick things down that cannot be hooped. So what are we talking about here? This was actually created specifically to do towels. Now, I've found lots of uses for it. I use it for lots of things, but it was created to do towels. Towels should not be hooped. Minky should not be hooped. Fleece should not be hooped. They should be stuck down so that the hoop doesn't damage them at all. So now I'm going to bring up a towel. Here's one. Here's just a little one. Now, these are one of our free Floriani designs. And remember, if you own Floriani software or you purchase it, you get 5 new designs every single month. It's our gift to you for being Floriani. But this is a nice, fun little design. I put it on a towel. Now, this towel has a nap to it, so I can't hoop it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hoop my Perfect Stick, stick it down, stitch it out. Now, how do I get it off? That's the trick. because I just told you it's sticky. And you know, when we pull away and it pulls all the loops off the front of our towel, it's like, oh, shoot, this is a gift. So we trim all those loops off. It's okay because it doesn't fall out the back until they wash it. No, so we don't want to have any of that issue. Now, of course, the towel has to be topped. Well, if I use water soluble to top a towel when you wash it, here come the loops like grass in the driveway. So we are going to, again, we're going to use that same topper we just used, which is Heat and Gone. So Heat and Gone is under here. Remember, press it, press it, press it. It went away from all around, but underneath that Heat and Gone is going to stay there for you so that your loops can never come through. So that's how we would top this. So towels are great, great gifts. I don't care. They're the most wonderful gifts to give away. So like here, let me see if I can get this under the thing. I did towels for everyone in my family, or bath sheets, a couple of Hanukkahs ago. And what I did is I put their name. So this is Joshua's, and his name means God is my salvation. So by sticking it down, I don't ever have to worry. Now, to get that off the back, what are we going to do? We are going to take a damp sponge, not a wet, soggy, or drippy. We're going to take a damp sponge, and we are going to dampen, dampen, dampen just the stabilizer. We are not wetting the towel or anything, just damp, no spritzing, no misting. Wait 10 to 15 seconds. Then I can tear away, and it will tear away clean all the way around and not pull up any of your loops. It's wonderful. And if you do have anything left on the back, don't ever worry about that, because whatever's left on the back, the first time you wash it, will pull away. The water soluble will come off, but what's ever underneath the stitches is going to stay. Now, these are what is in our Fabulous 5. Let me get back into where I can kind of see your faces. In our Fabulous 5, that's the 5 stabilizer. Oh, that's only 4 of them. Oh my gosh. Let me give you the Fabulous 5th. I mean,
this is a fabulous 5th.
This is the Fabulous 5th. I'm sorry. Let me go back to my little camera for you. I apologize. Can't believe I did that.
But wait, there's more.
Yes, but wait, ShamWow. Okay. We have our no-show mesh fusible. Now this mesh, it's our power mesh, where if you have no-show mesh, let me tell you, we have got no-show mesh and we now have power mesh. No-show mesh is phenomenal. We've used it for years. We love it. It's one of our favorites. However, we found a way to improve it. So we have power mesh, which is 2.0, but use up your no-show mesh first. There's nothing wrong with it. We just created a mesh that's a little bit lighter, but a little bit stronger. So I don't want you to think this is obsolete. It's wonderful. But eventually we won't carry it anymore because we will have replaced it all with power mesh. But what this is for is this is a cutaway. Now, when you do things like onesies, t-shirts, sweatshirts, sweater knits, cotton knits, lycra, you can no longer use a tearaway, because as it tears away, as it stretches while it's stitching, it's going to tear that stabilizer, and you're going to have a hammock and puckers. And then when you wash it, it's a nightmare. So when it comes to knits, we have got to put a cutaway on the back. So what I'm going to tell you now, let's talk about this onesie specifically. You're going to get like a bonus issue in this thumbs up. I'm going to give you the coolest trick ever. I'm going to take my no-show mesh. Now, everybody knows this is a hooping nightmare. I've sold women $20,000 worth of embroidery equipment because their daughter is 6 weeks pregnant with their first grandchild, and they want to do a onesie. Then they get home and they get all that and find out, oh my God, what am I going to do? So you can't hoop them for poop. So let's be realistic on that. So I'm going to iron my mesh, and I use beige mesh on this. We have our natural here. We have onyx, natural. They've changed them from white, beige, and black, but now they're natural, onyx, and I can't think of the other word. But anyway, this is white mesh. I'm going to iron it on the back just a little larger than my design field. Now, again, silk setting. Remember, that's the magic heat for our glue. So I'm going to iron that on. Now, where I have ironed that on, that cannot stretch because that cutaway will not allow the onesie to stretch in that place. So now I'm going to show you the trick. I'm going to turn this onesie back to the right side. Okay, my mesh is on the back. Now I'm going to hoop my Floriani Perfect Stick because now that I've stopped the stretch, it doesn't hurt to use a tearaway. So I'm going to hoop Perfect Stick in the hoop, and what's going to happen is it's going to score the paper and peel it away. So now I have a sticky surface. So here's the trick. Now I found out something new. I learned a new lesson this year. You know these shoulders? I always thought these weird shoulders was so I could get it over their bobbly little heads. Well, I got an education. I was at my daughter-in-law's changing my youngest grandson, and he had an explosion, you know, the ones that hit their shoes. And so I've got this onesie up and I'm rolling this up, and she goes, "Mom, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I don't want to get poop on his face." And she goes, "Well, that's why those shoulders are like that, so you can take it off over their diaper." I go, "Well, I don't want to get it on his legs either." So these shoulders, though, make it easy for us. What you're going to do is you're going to pull that back down below the front. Let me see if I can get that under the camera for you. I can pull the back below the front. Do you see how easily I did that? And now what I'm going to do is with just this back, I've got the back pulled down. I'm going to stick this down to my Perfect Stick. Now, how cool is that? There's absolutely no back underneath this. So I stick this down to my hoop. Now, it'll work on any size onesie. The only one I have a little issue with is if I use a preemie, the neck will fold over. So you just take a piece of embroidery perfection tape and stick it down. Stick that collar out of the way. Now I can bring in my design and stitch it out. The Perfect Stick's going to tear away. Now, your mesh, your nylon mesh, what makes us different is we're not polyester, we're nylon. We do not stretch when you stitch on us. We do not shrink when you wash us. And it will hold, and it's beautiful, but it is a cutaway. And notice there's a red label. You notice all my others have green labels. Go ahead and tear it away. Stop. You're going to have to cut it away. So you're going to cut away about 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch around your design so it does not cup, and you get that, oh, look, you got a new machine, or the ring of death. We don't want to see the ring of death. So now we can say that is our fabulous 5. You're also going to get 5 spools of thread in that kit, and those are basic colors. It's not the ugly stuff we can't sell. They're good colors. You're also going to get a design pack. So that comes in your fabulous 5, and Veronica's got those all held up there. So that is what's in your fabulous 5 kit. It's an amazing kit, especially if you're a brand new embroiderer, or maybe you're just new to Floriani and you're not sure if everything I'm telling you is gospel. I'm a rabbi's wife. I'm telling you the truth. No, but you want to try it. So try it if you haven't.
Kathy, this fabulous 5. So you're getting all the 5 stabilizers.
Yes.
You're getting the design pack, and you're getting 5 spools of thread. The suggested retail on this is $240.
Yes.
And they can purchase it today. Just click the link below for $167.99. They're saving $72.
That is a fantastic
and they're getting all of that. So this was a really popular one that we did, a couple of months ago. The Sensational 7 was just as popular. It just depends on, what your needs are. And I know you're going to go into that next, but I really wanted to say something to you in between real quick, Kathy. Do you remember, can you put her on? Do you remember me calling you desperately one time? I can't see her. Kathy, are you there?
You know it's me. I'm here. I apologize. All you're seeing is
I want to see your face.
Yeah, let me get my face. There's my face. Okay.
do you remember the time that I called you and I had sold a sewing machine to a customer and she brought it back the next day because she was trying to stitch the Susie, she wanted to make a Susie Zoo quilt.
Yes,
Do
I
you remember that?
Yes,
And it was
I
like
remember.
the designs were really cool, but they were like super
Oh,
dense and she wanted to do it on
designs
cotton.
ever. Worst digitizing
And
you ever
she's
saw.
and she's and she swore that the machine was broken, like it was
Yeah.
not a good machine and all that, because when she stitched it and she tried to do the outlining, the black outlining,
Well, it was only
didn't
off
line
a quarter
up.
of an inch, just because it was a quarter of an inch off.
Right,
It was
just a
horrible.
quarter of an inch. And anyway, I said, hold on one moment. I'm going to call Kathy Quinn. I know she'll have the answer for this. So I called you and you said, oh, because she was just using like a tearaway, which, right, there was,
one
you know,
layer
the
of
flapping in
thing.
between.
Right.
You said you have to do heat and stay on the back.
Uh-huh.
You have to float a tearaway and you've got to use the heat and gun on top.
It was perfect. And they were beautiful.
It was perfect. And she kept the sewing machine.
Well, I used
So
to say, I
anyway.
used to carry Susie Zoo with me all the time because those were some of the most popular designs ever on the market, and they stitched out horribly. They weren't digitized right. So, but we could compensate because that's what Walter taught us.
Yes, you can correct it with this right here, the right ingredients that you need for your sewing machine.
And you know, just as a FYI, if you are interested in software, we have a feature in our software called Save to Sew. When you select that item and say, I'm going to sew this out, my software can already see how that design is done. And you say, well, I want this for cotton. Then you're going to, then Walter's Family Secrets in there, and it's going to redigitize it and tell you how to stabilize it. Not only is it redigitized perfect for cotton, but it's also telling you how to stabilize. So that to me is one of the most powerful features to ever have in any software, is how to do it. Because that's where we get stuck.
Big time. And that's in the Fusion that they just put on sale for $799.
Yes.
And that's also in the Total Control U, which is on our website as well. Now, Kathy, I also noticed that on the back of your onesie, I couldn't see the stitching.
Well, I'm going to tell you, and what you're holding up is not what I have, but I'm glad you've got that, because that is one of my favorite products we make. She's holding up Dreamweave Ultra. Now, let me tell you, on the back of this onesie, what you're seeing, let me show it back here to the little camera. On this onesie, what you see is, I've got the edge up so you can see that. This is Dreamweave Plain. When you go on the back of a design, you don't want it to scratch your skin. And on an infant, that is non-negotiable. When you've completely finished, you're going to iron Dreamweave over it. And Dreamweave has a 6-way stretch, so it will move with the garment. So perfect. Now, what Veronica is holding up, oh, baby, that is Dreamweave Ultra. Now, let me tell you about Dreamweave Ultra. We have, it's a heavier Dreamweave. And the thing about it is it has a 2-way stretch, warp and weft, just like your cotton fabrics and stuff. Let's say you're doing a quilt and you went and you bought all good fabric at Veronica's, but you need this dumb novelty fabric, which is dogs leaking ice cream cones. So you have to go to Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And those novelty fabrics are not the quality of the good fabric you've been buying for quilting or just for making a bag or whatever. So if you put Dreamweave Ultra on the back, it's going to raise the stitch count of that fabric so that it now will match the kind of quilt fabric using. What if you've got a vintage fabric? Best use of it at all. How many of you hate t-shirt quilts? I mean, nobody likes making t-shirt quilts. But let me tell you, if you iron this Dreamweave Ultra on your t-shirt before you cut it out, before you cut that front out, iron the Dreamweave Ultra. You will not have curling edges. You will have no problems with it stretching when you're trying to sew it onto the sashings. Plus, normally when we do t-shirt quilts, we're doing them because those t-shirts are special and sometimes they're pretty worn out. By putting Dreamweave Ultra on the back, you have given them all new life. Dreamweave Ultra, I use almost, I can't even tell you. I use it perfect one. Kimberbell projects. Oh my God. I love Kimberbell projects. I do them all the time. However, the digitizing is so tough for her fabrics. So if you put Dreamweave Ultra on before you use those fabrics, oh my gosh, the life it gives. And if you're doing a pillow or something like that, you want that extra oomph of thread count so it's going to last. This is a pillow. And I knew that I was going to do all this, what do they call it, matchstick quilting on it. Okay, this was a good fabric. This is a good fabric. This is a Hope Yoder fabric. And what I did is you saw that I stitched out like a chicken wire. Then these are all raw edge. I cut them out on a go cutter and I just made my designs by sticking them down in the chicken wire. Then I stitched over them. Well, I knew this was going to hold a ton of stitches. Plus, it's a pillow. And I don't know about your house, but my boys think everything morphs into a football the minute they sit down. So that gives this a lot more stability, a lot more life. So Dreamweave Ultra is an incredible product to own. Once you've used it, though, I'm going to warn you. Once you start using Dreamweave Ultra, you're gonna be in there ordering it. It is so awesome. Get you a package of Dreamweave Ultra. Veronica has it in stock. It's 30 inches by 3 yards to get you started on it. I'm telling you, you cannot believe if you've got a heavy stitch count design and you're making them eye mask. You don't want puckers. Iron that on first. Now that is a permanent fuse. It will be there forever. So it's going to stay with that fabric for all times. I love it. So get your Dreamweave Ultra.
And the suggested retail on this is $39.99. And on our website, if you click on the link below, it's $27.99. So it's really good pricing. Well, yeah, for 3 yards. And it's 30 inches wide.
5 packages at that price. I go on the website. That's awesome.
It's while supplies last. We have some in stock, so they can definitely click on the link and do that.
And that is one of our most popular products. So get moving.
It is.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go on to the Sensational 7. I can't wait. I'm learning so much. Oh, real quick.
Yes.
Kathy, we had, I guess there was maybe a customer couldn't hear us when we were saying, because she's probably got the same problem with the Susie Zoos. We have a customer that said she didn't hear our solution with stabilizer when the outlines are not lining up.
This is what I would do today. When Veronica and I talked, that's been quite some time ago.
About 15 years ago.
Yeah, I would do a little different. The first thing I do is take that Dreamweave Ultra, put it on the back of the fabric you're going to use. Hoop it, and one layer of heat and stay. You're going to put a layer of your Dreamweave Ultra first because that's going to condition the fabric. Then you're going to fuse your heat and stay to the back. Then hoop it, top it, and stitch it, and it will be perfect every single time. I'm telling you that.
Hoop it. So they need this. They need this.
And their topper.
And their heat and gone.
Yes. There you go.
Heat and gone.
So we're going to put Dreamweave Ultra first. Then we're going to put our heat and stay, and those are both going to fuse on, but heat and stay is going to be a temporary fuse. Your Dreamweave Ultra is going to be there forever. And then you're going to top it with your heat and gone, stitch it, and I promise you it will be perfect. Perfect.
It all lines up perfectly.
Yeah,
and that's a big deal even for the embroidery designs that we have built into our brother with the Disneys.
Yes.
You know, the outlines not lining up.
Let's talk about why that happens. So we don't just think all these people have crummy designs. Actually, Susie Zoo was digitized poorly. All those were. However, brother designs are digitized well, but here's what a designer has to do. I can only digitize to one fabric. So, because if you've been embroidering for long, sometimes you'll have designs that will pull apart and you'll have a gap between colors. Well, that's because the digitizers didn't digitize for the fabric you're going on. So now what digitizers do, since we've come into the market, is they can only digitize for one thing. So they pick cheap, sorry, jersey knit. That means it's got more underlay, more pull compensation, and more density. So, and then on a jersey knit, it's perfect. But see, you're putting these princesses on a quilt for a granddaughter, and they're like rocks. Well, it's
Yes.
because they didn't have a choice. If you take that and you go through you can either stabilize to compensate, or you can use save to sew and have it redigitized. But it's because they had to pick one thing to do. And that's why. So none of your designs will pull apart, or those outline problems, all that, because you've got so much pull on that. So you need to, if you're going on a cotton and you're putting a Disney princess, she needs Dreamweave Ultra. She needs heat and stay if it's on a cotton. And then you'll have perfect outlines. But it's not that they're badly digitized, it's just they're over digitized, so they cover all fabric bases. So let's go to the next two. I've got two more fun stabilizers. Then I have a secret.
This is great, Kathy.
I have a secret thing to show you that I'm so excited about. I can't stand it. Right after these two, I'll show you some cool stuff. Let me go ahead and go back to my little camera here. And let's get moving over here. Okay. Now, we've already seen our Fabulous 5 with our free design collection and our 5 spools of thread. Well, we have a Sensational 7, which has the 5 I already told you about. But now we're going to move in and look at 2 more products. They're basic. They're very basic products. But we're going to talk about, this is Stitch and Wash Fusible. Remember I told you Perfect Stick was half water soluble and half fiber? Well, that was what Stitch and Wash is. It's half water soluble and half fiber, and it's fusible. You'll say, well, why would I want that if I've got Perfect Stick? Because Perfect Stick costs a lot more money. If I can hoop it, I'm certainly not going to stick it down. And I'll tell you, number one, you get a better result if you can hoop. So Stitch and Wash is that water soluble tearaway. And again, it's gonna have some wash, but some is gonna stay. So let's look at, here's a perfect example. If I'm doing single stitch designs, this is a sketch a stitch design that Trevor did. So it's just sketch. It's one of our free monthly designs. Now, here's a little cup towel or fingertip towel with a poem on it. 1/8 of an inch tall lettering. Look how beautiful that is. Here's another cup towel. Now, all of these, whether it's satin stitch lettering or it's single stitches, I do not care how short those fibers are in the heat and stay. When I start going to tear away from this, I'm going to stress and distort these stitches. Can you see here? I've used my Stitch and Wash Fusible. I've fused it on, I've hooped it, and I've used my Heat and Gone topping. I want you to look and dampen, tear away. Do you see I've got stabilizer left under these stitches? You can just barely see it. I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera there, but you can see that there is stabilizer under these stitches because it needs to be. But from around the stitches, it's all gone. Nothing was stressed. Nothing was torn. How beautiful is that design, and how well it holds up. I mean, these are in my suitcase. They get loved by lots of hands. They get washed every week, and they get drug around. They get thrown across the aisle. You know, you get it. But that holds. Now let's look at this one. Here's this little 1/8 of an inch lettering. Let's look at the back of it with our Stitch and Wash. Now notice here, you're going to see a lot more Stitch and Wash because it needed more to stay under the design. But look from all around the design. I didn't have to worry about getting in there and gouging anything out with tweezers or anything. It just washes away except what is needed. So that is so cool. That is one of the coolest magic stabilizers. Now our last stabilizer in our 7 here is our Wet and Gone. Oh, baby. And I think Wet and Gone, whoops, got it upside down. I think Wet and Gone probably funded all the research and development for all our others. This sells a ton. It's wonderful. Now, what makes this different? We are made out of spun alcohol. So think of spinning fibers. Think of cotton candy. We're spinning it, but we spin it into a fine fiber and we make you a woven stabilizer. This is tough like a piece of fabric, but it is totally water soluble. And since there's no cornstarch or anything, it's not stringy and yucky. It will wash away in cold water in 60 seconds. It's not slimy. It's not stinky. If you get a water soluble stabilizer and they tell you to boil it to get it all out of the lace, give me a break. Okay, so what this is for, this is for stuff like freestanding lace. Now, Trevor made these for us girls. Now, he put Mylar in them so they would sparkle. But these designs are designed to stand on their own. So you've seen bookmarks, ornaments, earrings, necklaces, all this stuff that is made out of thread. It's digitized to stitch out on Wet and Gone and then rinse it away. Now, I save every scrap of my Wet and Gone. I put it in a spray bottle, and when it's about 2/3 of the way full, I add water and shake it. This is the most incredible spray stabilizer. If I'm doing wing work on napkins or on a linen, I will spray it with this. If I'm doing a pashmina shawl, those things you can do a beautiful job on them, but they're hideous to stitch on. So what I do is I take the Wet and Gone solution and I spray it till it's soaked. Then when it dries, I press it. Then I stabilize it and stitch on it. That keeps that weave from shifting. The weave will shift in linen as well. Or what if you're just doing some decorative stitches out of your sewing machine on a little girl's dress? Spritz it with that, wait till it dries, iron it, and you have a wonderful stabilizer that will rinse out when you're finished. Now, this Sensational 7 that we're talking about, oh baby, it comes with not only the 5 we talked about, we're going to add Wet and Gone and Stitch and Wash to the mix. We're going to give you 7 spools of thread, and we're going to give you 2 design sets today. And I know Veronica will be back to give you prices on that. So that's our Sensational 7 or our Fabulous 5. Now, I'm of the belief that you can't live without all 7. So I would pretty quickly bypass the 5. If you're new to Floriani, especially, go for the 7. If you're just restocking at this amazing price and you just need something out of the 5, then go for the 5. But I'm sure Veronica's got a good price for you. So let's see what she's got in the Sensational 7 for you.
Yes, this is the Sensational 7 box is much bigger because it contains more. And the MSRP on this is $389.99. And you can get it on sale today. If you click on the link, go through our website, or you can come on into the store if you'd like. Some people did that last time because they were just flying out of here. $272.99. You get all 7 stabilizers. You get 2 design packs, and these horses are really cool.
Oh,
these horses are beautiful.
I stitched those out on faux leather, and they were gorgeous.
And then you also get 7 spools of thread,
7.
Not 5.
Beautiful,
7.
Beautiful colors, not the ugly ones. The beautiful colors.
I think they're all beautiful. It's funny, going back to Susie's Zoo, like I'm not an orange person. So when I first brought home my first embroidery machine, I didn't bring orange of all things. That's the one color I didn't pick. Well, heck, I needed it on her beak and her feet. And it's like, you need all the colors. So anyway, yes, there are beautiful colors here for sure. But and you're saving $117 by buying it in the box. So you can get the Sensational 5 or you can get the Sensational 7. It does not come with the Dreamweave that we're talking about.
No, Dreamweave
Dreamweave
is just one of those bonus products. I'm glad she held it up because I love it to death.
And this is only $27.99 on our website. And now
drum roll. I have got a new product that I am over the moon. It's the best product I think we've ever come out with for fun. So let me go. You're going to fall over on this one. This is so awesome. Dun, 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 dun. I even have everything hidden. Okay, what is this? Oh, it looks like fleece. This is Hi-Loft dimensional topping. This is not a fleece. It's a topping. It's going to go on top. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it on top and you're going to stitch out satin stitches, any satin stitch. So if you're using satins, look at how it's going to stitch over it. Now, I am going to use every scrap of this. So I'm going to cut away. You can see I'm kind of showing you how I cut away from one. I'm going to cut away all the scraps. So I just have it under the letters when I'm finished because I can continue to use these scraps. Then what's going to happen is I am going to rinse that away. Oh my gosh. Snitches get stitches and wind up in ditches. But look at the dimension. Look at the dimension on these letters. Can you see that? They're raised. It's like I've got puffy foam. And for those of you that are new or don't even, I'm just speaking Greek. If you wanted to raise embroideries, raise letters on anything, there were products out there that were a foam, but everything had to be redigitized. You had to cap the ends because it would squeeze out. You had to change the way the satin stitch stitched on the edges so that when you stitched along an edge, it would kind of chew it out. So with all of this, you would have to cap every little opening. With this, you can stitch it on any satin stitch. Look at these. I mean, I've gone crazy with this stuff. How beautiful is this? It's so sad that you can't see it in person because the dimension on this, and these are little tiny satin stitches. Look at these. Look at how beautiful that heart is. Can you see how all those stitches are raised? So it's got dimension. Here's some more large lettering. Blossom by blossom, spring begins. And I also used our rainbow feature in our software. Now I keep mentioning our software. Do not miss coming to see DJ and Judy Fredenburgh. You are going to get the education of your life. DJ is one that helps develop the software. He is great. That's September 29th or 30th. Do not miss DJ and Judy. Judy will give you amazing things on stabilizer, and DJ will talk to you about the software. So don't miss it. You're going to learn all kinds of stuff. But this is our Hi-Loft dimensional topping. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Anything, and I don't care how small it is, as long as it's a satin stitch. I used it on that 1/8 of an inch lettering on a little logo I did for one of my granddaughters, and it was all raised and beautiful. And this has been washed multiple times. It's like our stitch and wash, where part of it's water soluble and part of it stays stuffed under the stitches. Well, that's kind of how this has been done, so that it stays under there and it can't get out. So this is amazing stuff. And if you want to do raised lettering, you want to put something on a cap, oh my gosh, what a dream this is. So that is our new exciting product that everybody should go crazy over. I mean, I sell it when I go out, everybody goes home with one. Once they've touched these samples, it's amazing. Go, Miss Veronica.
It is.
Something
and
good.
we've been waiting for it, you know.
I
mean,
know. Oh,
like,
yeah, a year we've been touting that we had this stuff. Yeah,
I have it in stock.
Woo!
Yay! So this Hi-Loft dimensional topping and stabilizer, there's 40 inches by 1/2 yard in this package, which will go a long way.
And
it's normally
every tiny scrap. I can put this over a little heart on a little girl's dress. Save every scrap of this.
Absolutely. And it's $49.99 regularly, and we have it on sale for $39.99. So you're saving $10.
That's awesome.
And you just click on the link below and it'll take you right there to purchase this. And then we also do have this in the store. Again, we stock all of the Floriani products in our store. Again, this is what we get behind. And again, you can see the education. I mean, like I said, in the support, it's just phenomenal. So,
well, and let me tell you one more thing about Hi-Loft. It is always out of stock in our warehouse. The fact that she's got any in stock today is a miracle of God. So if you're thinking about trying it, today's the day, because tomorrow it may be unavailable for 6 more weeks.
It definitely. You just bought one, Lorraine? Oh yeah, no, they're super cool. I know. It's really just adds to the embroidery.
It's like
a lot of times,
a long time ago.
And I like it too because on our machines, the built-in fonts, some of the satin stitching is just too wide. So like if you use this on top when you're stitching on top of it, it really will. Now you're going to not get that looseness either. It's going to be looseness. Is that a word?
But that is. It is. It's like it's got a loose tension or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is going to compensate for that as well. But I am really excited about this event that I have coming with DJ Anderson. He's really hard to get.
Yes.
DJ and Judy in September. I'm glad you mentioned it. And then you kind of touched on the stabilizer as well, because again, they're going to be covering both stabilizers and software. So I was glad you touched on the software component of it. We don't have enough time to talk about that today, but we did have Trevor talking about Fusion a couple of weeks ago, and then I'd like to have you come back and actually show Total Control, Kathy, because
Anytime.
yeah. And you know, Kathy, I'm such a huge fan of yours. And so our word of the day for people to win a $50 gift card is actually going to be your name.
But they have to
So
spell
that
it.
your name, yes, you have to spell it right. So if you're listening right now, go ahead and type in to win this $50 gift card at the end of the segment. And you're going to type in Kathi for Kathy. And you know what? You might want to just type that in to win. But then also, if you've learned something today, give us a thumbs up. You know, let Kathy know that what she did today was just awesome. I loved it. So, you know, and I could listen to her all day long, especially when she does the press it.
Press it.
I
We'll
love
never
it.
forget.
But yeah, so just type in Kathi. Are we getting some up there right now
we're
to
getting
win?
some.
Okay.
We've even got a Kathy Quinn up there. We also have a misspelled Kathy up there. So if you're the one that spelled
Oh,
it
we have a
right,
misspelled one. It's not going to be entered. It's Kathi. And don't forget, it's Kathy that spelled that way with an I, because I tell her, for her, I would say, I know a lot. So Kathi. Okay. So we're going to give it just a few more minutes. Kathy, you're heading to Dallas next week,
I'm going
right?
to be at your daughter's next week at Stitch House. So I'm gonna do a fun event, and we're going to do Fun Saturday, where everybody's
Fun
dressing
Friday.
up. No, they're doing Fun Saturday this time, because I'm going to teach Thursday and Friday. I'm going to do hands-on, and Saturday they're going to do their fun. They're going to change it to Fun Saturday, if I understand correctly.
And all new projects.
Yes, all new projects, and then everybody
hands-on
dresses up as the animals on Saturday, and
oh my gosh,
as the safari leader. Woohoo!
Oh
so
my gosh, that's fun. Well, I'll tell you, Jessica's lucky to have you at Stitch House. And yeah, you're definitely one of her favorites. So if anybody's listening in the Plano area, Dallas Metroplex, whatever, get on signed up for Stitch House's event with Kathy, because it's going to be fantastic. So
she has an absolutely gorgeous store, huge classroom space. It is a joy to go in there and sew and do events, because there is no crowding. It's like Veronica.
That's true. Well, you know, Jessica, my daughter, and Ralph actually designed out this store together.
Well,
I was over at the small store trying to make the money, because you know she's expensive.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Her store, top-notch stuff.
She's expensive. So I'm over at the other store trying to make the money to afford all this, and freaking out that we were moving into a 15,000 square foot store. But anyway, it's been wonderful, and our customers have loved it. And it's been really, really cool. So, all right.
Thank you.
Are we getting lots of thank you, Kathy? Oh,
thank
good.
Thank you all for coming, because the most important thing you can ever give me is your time. So thank you so much for, actually, it's turned into from a 30-minute to an hour and 5 minutes of your life.
Wow. But you know what? They're are still all here. So they're still all on. So they must have really liked you, Kathy.
Thank you. Well,
And actually, we had the largest viewership that we've had since we started doing these Thumbs Up Thursdays. So, yeah, really cool. So keep sharing if you would, please. I think this is great information. Share this and like this, and we appreciate your comments. Okay. Do we think we have everybody?
I think so.
Heck yeah. Do you want to stay and see who won?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. You ready? Okay. We're going to do it. Kathi, it's your last chance. $50 gift card.
Okay.
Here we go, Kathy.
Woohoo. All right, let me see. Woohoo! Oh, Carol was one of the first ones in this morning. Yay!
Congratulations, Carol. I've seen your name on here every single
And she was one
Thursday,
of
and
the
I want
first
to.
people in this morning. She was one of the
Yes,
first ones here.
I
Yay!
appreciate you so much for watching every single one, and I'm so glad you won. So that was really cool.
Do you want to tell them who's next? Who's on next Thursday?
Oh my gosh! Oh, have you met Tony yet, Kathy?
No, Tony from.
Tony, he started out as
Oh
inventory
yes,
manager,
you're
and now
Tony.
he's
Yes,
my
I know you, Tony.
general
Yes.
manager.
I thought
Yeah,
I'm thinking educators in the field. Yes, I know Tony.
Yeah. Well, Tony, he's a Marine.
Yeah,
And so, well, he's retired from the Marines, but they're always stay a
it never
Marine.
changes.
So anyway, no.
They never-
So and we're just so thankful for him for that. But then also coming and working at our store. And Tony has the bug big time. He first started out
Oh,
with a scan and
good.
cut, a brother
Good.
scan and cut. And then now he recently has purchased a brother 10 needle, and now he and his wife are just loving that machine.
Good.
So, but next week he has some special projects that he's going to be making on the scan and cut. And of
Ooh.
course, he wanted Barbie to be with him, but he's the one that really wants to do a presentation on the brother scan and cut. So you want to stay tuned on that. If you've been even thinking about purchasing a scan and cut, we're going to have great deals on that with great things that's going to go along with
I
that.
think Jessica
And then
should
also,
put that up at our event so I can watch. Jessica ought to put that up at my because I'll be working on Thursday at her. I'll be teaching a class, so I think they should put that up so I can watch.
it's going to be fantastic, trust me. And so, yeah, so make sure you watch because Tony's going to be on and Barbie next week at 10 o'clock. So join us for next Thumbs Up Thursday, and we appreciate all of you.
If they have a scan and cut,
Oh,
you
if
wanna
you,
learn more.
oh my gosh, if you have a scan and cut, you want to watch this. Definitely. Yeah, because you're going to learn more. Okay.
Great.
All right. Well, it's Thursday. You guys have a fabulous day. I love everybody, and I especially love you, Kathy.
Thank you, Veronica. Thanks so much for having me in. I enjoyed it, loved it. I look forward to coming back.
Very cool. Okay. Thank you.
Girl. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.